Bells at St. Peter's Square in Vatican City ringing to mark the death of Pope Francis. Now at 6 o'clock, world leaders react.
Back here locally, first responders pull another body from the Willamette River, bringing the total to 3 just in a week.
Portland police say they successfully stopped a huge street takeover on Saturday night before it ever began. How they say they pulled it off.
Oregon potatoes aren't just delicious, they're big business.
Well, first of all, potatoes are the state vegetable.
What?
Yeah, coming up at 6:15, we head to Sauvie Island, where one family has been growing potatoes for generations. KGW News at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Monday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We are going to join Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill as they prepare to bring us a weather and traffic report like no other.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen.
Stand by. Here it comes.
Here it goes. Wet start to our day. I mean, not overly so, but clearly you can see we've got scattered showers flowing from Astoria down through Portland. Most of this rain has been holding, most of it, not all of it, it's been holding on a line near to north of Salem. And we got this wet bullseye spot currently. If you folks are watching us out in Sandy and Estacada, good morning to you. It's mostly light rain. The clouds are showing up on all of our cameras. Here's Salem live, 47 degrees. Here's our Rose City camera, 46 degrees. Believing that the shower flow will dry up at some point this morning, giving us a dry, partly cloudy noon hour, 54, and then at 5 o'clock we get up to about 61 degrees. Here's Chris.
Good afternoon, Rod. Thank you for that. All right, let's get you out to the west side. Just get a word of a possible crash on West Burnside. Busy road, right, getting over the West Hills near the intersection with Barnes Road. Photojournalist Eric Patterson is headed up to check that out. We'll bring you the details just as soon as we have them. To the Freeway Drive, evidence of the rain that Rod mentioned here. The sunset's a little damp out near the Sylvan Hill. You can see Highway 26 traffic. They're rolling along just fine there. Door number 2 takes us to Tualatin and get a little road spray out there. But so far, the Freeway Drive on that side of town looks pretty good as well. Guys, so far, we're in relatively good shape to start our Monday morning commute.
Thank you, Chris. We start this hour of news headlines with a live look from St. Peter's Square just a few hours ago. At 1 o'clock a.m. our time, the Vatican announced that Pope Francis had died. We've seen mourners gathering around the square this morning, commemorating the life of the Pope.
Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz has been covering this story from our newsroom and joins us with more. Thomas?
Hey, good morning, guys. And yeah, the Vatican again saying that the Pope died around 1 o'clock our time. They say he dedicated his life to the service of the Lord and of his church, adding that he taught us to live the values of the gospel. From the beginning, Pope Francis had an unusual trajectory to becoming leader of the Roman Catholic Church. He worked as a nightclub bouncer in Argentina before then becoming a priest. Once rising to Supreme Pontiff, the first Pope from the Americas changed the course of the Church. He reached out to the LGBTQ community, demanded justice for the poor and marginalized. Francis also railed against unbridled capitalism and climate change. Tributes are now pouring in from across the globe. In the U.S., President Trump wrote on his Truth Social platform, "Rest in peace, Pope Francis. May God bless him and all who loved him." British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says he was deeply saddened to hear of Francis's death. He added in an X post that his tireless efforts to promote a world that is fair for all will leave a lasting legacy. Ceremonies for the Pope will begin at 11 o'clock our time this morning. The Vatican says it will include the confirmation of his death and the placement of his body in a coffin. The public will likely be able to pay their final respects to Pope Francis on Wednesday. China.
Thomas, thank you. In Washington, D.C., the Supreme Court has paused the deportation of another group of Venezuelan migrants and alleged gang members. Lawyers representing the men say that they are being denied hearings to argue their case. Earlier this month, the Supreme Court made it clear that any people in the government wants to deport under the Alien Enemies Act must be given a chance to challenge their deportation.
Oregon Representative Maxine Dexter arrived in El Salvador with other lawmakers to demand the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. The Trump administration deported Garcia to El Salvador last month, pointing to accusations that he's a member of the MS-13 gang. The administration has since said an administrative error sent Garcia to an El Salvador prison, and the Supreme Court has ruled that the federal government must facilitate his return.
Locally this weekend, people gathered in Pioneer Square to march peacefully against the Trump administration. We talked to a few of the demonstrators. They spoke out against everything from DOJ to deportations to tariffs.
Try to buy a car in a month, good luck. You're going to pay thousands and thousands of more dollars for everything.
When it comes to tariffs, most of those reciprocal tariffs are on pause. The Trump administration says their goal is to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. and focus on the long term.
Hillsborough police are looking for a person they believe may have witnessed a death last fall. On the morning of October 20th, officers responded to a call at Northeast 105th and Walker Road, and that's where they found the body of a 24-year-old man. They tell us they want to find the driver of this car, who they say was driving through that area before they got there that morning. Investigators believe it's a dark-colored Dodge Challenger. We have the non-emergency police line up there on your screen. Call that number if you have any information about this case.
Multnomah County first responders have pulled another body from the Willamette River. That is just the third in a week. The sheriff's office says the latest was found Friday near the Port of Portland's Terminal 4, which is near the St. John's Bridge. The sheriff's office says they don't believe that the cases are connected. The head coach of the Umpqua Community College softball team and one of its players were killed in a crash. Morgan State Police said it happened Friday night along Highway 42 in Coos County. Investigators say the SUV crossed the center line and hit a bus carrying the members of the softball team. 19-year-old Kylie Jones was pronounced dead at the scene. Head coach Jamie Strins died at the hospital. The other 8, the bus suffered serious to moderate damage.
Portland police say a collaborative effort involving multiple law enforcement agencies prevented a large street takeover event from happening over the weekend. We're going to show you video from past takeovers here. Police say they learned about the latest attempt on social media and say it was expected to happen Saturday night, bringing in street racers from Washington and California. Officers on the ground, along with aerial surveillance, kept a close eye on known street racing hotspots in the city. Altogether, they say they stopped 37 vehicles, issued 32 citations, arrested 7 people, and seized 4 illegal guns.
In just a few hours, Port of Portland commissioners will vote on rolling back its social equity. This is in response to President Donald Trump's executive order cracking down on diversity and equity programs. The Port of Portland oversees PDX operations, and in a statement, management said that they need to make good faith efforts to comply with federal policies since it's dependent on federal funds to operate. That meeting is set for 8:30 this morning and will be live streamed. Details on how to submit written comments are on theportofportland.com.
Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Sing it with me, China.
Don't know it. Sorry.
I sing alone on this Monday. Topaz Farm on Sauvie Island hosted its 3rd annual Easter celebration this past weekend. There were Easter egg hunts there, China. They were painting potatoes over the weekend. They had a traditional Ukrainian egg demonstration, and they also offered the chance to say hi to the Easter Bunny.
We limit the number of people come because one of the things, we're not big fans of crowds. We don't like long lines. We don't like stressful situations. We're parents and we're grandparents and we've done all the egg hunts before. We want this to be a happy experience where you can come in and do the egg hunt, or you can go get something to eat, or you could do the demonstrations without having to wait in lines.
The Easter Bunny was the most popular animal at the farm this weekend, but there were lots of animals, other animals I should say, to visit too, including the chicks, the ducks, the lambs, and the goats.
This morning, the annual White House Easter egg roll will kick off on the South Lawn. The egg roll and the egg hunt will feature eggs donated by egg farmers across the U.S. The event will also feature live music from the U.S. Marine, Army, Air Force, and Navy bands, as well as reading time with First Lady Melania Trump.
Be gentle with those eggs, kids. They're very expensive, right? All right, how did you celebrate your Easter? We'd like to see. Show us your Easter photos. You can text them to us. Please include your name, where you're from. We're going to try to share as many of those Easter photos as we can this morning. Rod, what time does Rod Hill wake up on Easter Sunday, I wonder?
What time did we get up? We got up at, Maximus woke us up around 6:15 in the morning.
That makes sense, right?
Yes. There was a woodpecker outside, and you know, that little pecking sound drives our Golden nuts. So he's basically up in bed, crawling on top of us. Thank you for asking, though. Here's a look at our northwest radar loop showing showers from Astoria down into Portland, a little bit clipping McMinnville and Salem this morning. I did not expect the showers that popped yesterday to still be going on. I do expect them to eventually dry up at some point this morning. But for right now, a lot of the roadways have at least some moisture on them. And we have this larger area of what's mainly light rain stretching from Beaver Creek to Milano. You're kind of on the edge of it, and then Estacada and out into Sandy. Here's a look at the Astoria column camera looking out over the Astoria Meckler Bridge. You can see that's overcast, some raindrops on the lens, and 43. There are some breaks in the cloud cover. You can see one of them over downtown Portland right now. We're sitting at 46 degrees. There's not much wind out there. It's 43 in Forest Grove. We're all kind of the same temperature-wise. 45 in Albany this morning. 47 is your number in Salem. Good morning to you. Futurecast at 10 o'clock this morning shows a few showers left over, but then after that, pretty much drying up, and this afternoon will be partly to even mostly sunny across our entire region. So this turns into a nice day. Temperatures won't be overly warm. A lot of our state and up into southwest Washington may stay in the 50s, with a few spots just getting up to 60 or the low 60s. Here's the 7-day. We go on a dry run once the showers end later this morning. We're all dry tomorrow, 65, all dry 70 on Wednesday, 73 on Thursday, then shower chances return late Thursday into Thursday night, and that is your forecast.